Democratic strategist, and on set with me is David Tukey, former deputy regional campaign manager for McCain-Palin. The hard numbers is what you said we really haven't seen from Mitt Romney, and that's what you understand former governor of Alaska Sarah Palin to be asking for. Speaking of hard numbers, there's a call to see his tax returns. Is that out of bounds?
I think it is out of bounds at this point.
Are the other like if he turns out to be your party's nominee, would it be in bounds then?
I don't think it's ever in bounds, to be honest. I think that some of the other candidates in the last election showed their tax returns, but we're talking about someone's record as a legislator, someone's record as an executive, not, how their investments are doing necessarily.
Dwight Kavanaugh says this calls for a congressional hearing regarding Bain. II says, yes, I agree, get all the dirty laundry out there now so there is no so-called revelation during the presidential run. There are some Republican voters who say, you know what, get it out now so that it can't be a weapon.
And if that's what Sarah Palin is talking about, then I think that that is a service. I think that his record is going to stand up well to these attacks, and it might end up benefiting him. Also, I thought it was interesting what the gentleman said in South Carolina, where there was a small spike in unemployment when the plant closed, but in the end, they ended up creating manufacturing jobs. The economy is fluid, and things that aren't functioning properly are going to be rescaled, and I think that's what Bain did.
David, you want to get in a thought here?
I just wanted to say David should know full well that even Romney's father, when he ran for president, shared his tax returns with the American public in full disclosure, and so too have every other candidate running for president. So he needs to reveal his tax returns, and until he does, we're all going to be asking, why aren't you? And given the fuzzy math and given the questions around Bain, that all adds to a curiosity about Romney that I'm not sure he's going to be able to move forward until he does address. I might add one other thing. Okay. No one is attacking the free enterprise or a capitalist system. We're all for it. What we are saying, just like a gaming casino is within the free enterprise, it certainly was not in the interest of those that are gaming. It was to serve the House. And that's what Bain Capital was doing, was to build wealth for its shareholders. It did not give a hoot, nor is it in his mission statement, to develop or create jobs. For him to make believe that it was, or to feign that he might have been scared about a pink slip, is the thing that I think they are having trouble with, and they're going to have to address, is this, which Mitt Romney is it, one that feigns it, or is concerned or not concerned? That's the real question, and it all goes to flip-flopping and who is Mitt Romney.
All right, David Tukey, I want to give you a moment to respond.
Like I said before, this is someone who's demonstrated, Mitt Romney is someone who's demonstrated competence for a very long time. He was a good governor of Massachusetts, and I think his record is going to stand up well, especially when he goes up against President Obama. And you can say what you will about Mitt Romney's record of creating jobs. It's better than the president's, and I think that the American people are going to recognize that in November.
Well, he's got you there.
And Harris, they got to point out that Massachusetts, when he was governor, was 47 out of 50 states in creation of growth. So with all that Bain experience that David's referring to and that the candidate always refers to, Massachusetts as a state was 47th in growth of jobs among 50 states. That's not a record that I would be wanting to run on, or any other candidate would want to run on.
You said kind of two different things there. You said creation of growth, which is not necessarily creating jobs.
Job growth. Job growth.
All right. I want to make sure that we're correct with our apples and apples here, because otherwise it gets a little fuzzy.
Yeah, absolutely.
Talk to me how much you think that counterpunching with an ad like what's out today from Mitt Romney's campaign is necessary or not necessary.
I think it is necessary, with Newt Gingrich and Sheldon Adelson spending $5 million on ads that are distorting his record in his work. I think it's necessary for him to fight back, as we saw what happened to Newt when he didn't fight back. The results were somewhat disastrous. So I think Romney getting out ahead of this, having testimonials from people who had jobs created by Bain Capital will serve to balance out some of the attacks.
That was an interesting story brought to us by John Roberts. A couple things, David, before I let you go off the satellite bird.
Sure.
Let's see. Ray Gresham writes, Harris, I believe that anything and everything that pertains to the person who is running for that office should be revealed. And gosh, I can't find it right now, but there was a former posting that pointed to the fact that, sometimes you have to shake the house, meaning the house of business, and how it falls is that sometimes people lose their jobs. It seems like people get the concept that in order to save the entire company, it might cost some jobs. And so they kind of understand Mitt Romney. Your last thought.
I think that is correct, and that was Boehner's mission. Sometimes you got to throw people out in the street, but he won't say that. He'll say he created jobs. That's the problem. Boehner was not in the business of increasing the unemployment rate. It was increasing the wealth of those invested, and I might add that they squeezed whatever they could and ran off with it, and we've heard Perry characterize it, we've heard Gingrich and others characterize it, and that is the point. That's what Boehner did, to try and put lipstick on the pig and ride that pig to a candidacy on the presidency is a problem.
I will tell you, though, because after watching John McCain with Megyn Kelly yesterday, and after hearing David Tukey somewhat come to his defense this morning, saying, look, when a campaign's going on, sometimes you get dirty. But then when everybody kind of sobers up from the fight, you back each other up. So I don't know how much of this to believe and how much not to believe, because you still haven't told me, well, did John McCain have it right then or does he have it right now?
I think a lot of this job creation rhetoric is not following a lot of logic. If you create a job in Massachusetts, does that mean that you didn't create a job federally?
Okay, that's an excellent point.
And it goes
That's
on
an
and
excellent
on.
point. All right, David Mercer, I got to let you go because I understand our correspondent is standing out in the cold in Chicago, and if I don't rescue him, it will be on my head. My friend, thank you for joining us.
Have a good weekend.
Nice to talk to you.
Always
Fun
good
campaign.
to see you. All right, I want to get more thoughts